whispering in the trees. It's two cities and they're only
any athlete will tell you it is the hugest honor to be named to the Hall of Fame. I don't remember many athletes, if any, off the top of my head that declined an invitation to the Hall of Fame of their sport, their career. I mean, that's it. That's what you sit back in a rocking chair and say, yeah, I might have struck out with 2 outs and bags loaded in the bottom of the ninth, but I'm in the Hall of Fame. Can't take that away from me. Well, Ron Santo never had that opportunity to know he was in the Hall of Fame because Ron passed away almost a year ago today. But congratulations to the dead Ron Santo, and congratulations to the New York sports writers who kept Ron Santo. I'm trying to bring us our Ronnie Santo, who was finally entered into the Baseball Hall of Fame today. He was voted in by the Veterans Committee. That means the sports writers still said, get bent. Or the vets possibly didn't want to go any longer. I believe the sports writers meet January 9th, so Santo could have been voted in, which, give me a break. They had the opportunity to vote him in for years now, and they did not. And the veterans, not to let them off the hook, they didn't vote him in either until today. I can't look at them both, but I looked at, so you'll have to trust me, and I know that's pretty hard to do. I have them both on my Facebook page. You want to go there. You won't be able to look at both of them at the same time either. However, you can pull them both up. Santo versus the vacuum cleaner, Brooks Robinson. Santo, third base, Cubs, let's see. Played his final game September 29th, 1974. The White Sox couldn't play him. He must have been hurt. They couldn't play him after that. I think he hit 5 or 6 home runs that year. We'll get to that in a moment. I just want to look at some of his stats here. What'd Santo end up with? 342 home runs, 1,331 RBI. He hit more home runs than Robinson did. I think RBIs were really close. Robinson might have had a couple of more. He out his batting average, and a lot of these statistics weren't even kept back in Santo's day. He batted .277, I think. Robinson may have batted .270. Well, why are we using Robinson? Well, he for a long time was considered one of the best, if not the best, third baseman in modern baseball anyway, if you can call that modern baseball as compared to now. And of course, then there was Schmidt after that, and the Penguin, man, the Penguin, for crying out loud. Ron Say. They only traded for Say because it sounded like Ron Santo. Now the Cubs had 1 million third basemen. Can we even start to name them? Steve Entreveris, Ramirez, Say. Was it Vern Law or Vance Law? I don't even know how many third basemen the Cubs have had. They've had a ton, though. They have had a ton of third basemen. But not between the years of 60 is when Santo came up. And he locked into the lineup in 61. And from 61 through 154 games in 61. Then he played every game in 62, 63, missed 1 game in 64. He played every game in 65, played 155 games in 66, missed 1 game in 67, appeared in them all in 68, missed 2 games in 69, and then he was over 150 games for the next 2 years, all the way till 73 when he played 149 games. In 1974, Santo appeared in 117 games, looks like all for the White Sox, where he hit 5 home runs and batted a miserable .221. He was on his last legs, pun intended. So for basically from 61 to 73, 12 years, the Cubs had a third baseman. Since then, how many third basemen have the stinking Cubs had? 1,000? 2,000? Zuba, 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 Zube.
What's up, Reach? I had to call in once you dropped the name Vance Law.
Was that his name?
Yeah, Vance Law. I was going to call in and remind you of him, but luckily you did the deed of dropping his name.
Any other? There has to be about 40 guys.
Easily.
And one of them was pretty good too, but for some reason the Cubs traded. Was it a Baker? They traded him back to, or they traded him to the Boston Red Sox, I believe.
Was this recently?
Yeah, it was in the last.
Jeff Baker? Does that sound right?
I don't know. He was a pretty good hitter, though. I thought that
Right.
we could have kept him around for a while, but nonetheless, the Cubs have had 1 trillion third basemen, man.
Yeah, 1 trillion. And I'll tell you what, I'm just calling in to get my opinion out there. I'm glad he got in, and we were all fearing that. I mean, he should have been in a long time ago. That's understood for what he did during that era of baseball. I mean, you already read all of his stats off, and then publicly coming out with the whole "I've been playing with diabetes the whole time." I mean, it's just phenomenal what that guy did, and it's a little kind of slap in the face that now he's passed away and he got in a year later. I feel it's, and maybe I don't know if you feel the same. Do you feel it's more of a sympathy vote in than a, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just when I heard this morning, when it popped up. Actually, I'm getting news off of my own Facebook page from other people, which is pretty cool, and that's where I learned of this today. Was on my Facebook page. Someone posted it up there. I was actually PO'd. It made me shake my head. And it made me angry because they prevented this guy from at least a couple of years of misery, a few moments of happiness.